this one? Where did it feel like this one got away
Well, I mean, again, we just giving leadoff walks and hit by batters and errors and helping them start their innings doesn't help. But again, they've done well this year because they're not walking as many guys. They're playing better defense, and they took advantage of us making mistakes, and they mixed in their hits, and they played a better game than we did. And it doesn't matter who you're playing, whether it's an in-state team, out-of-state team. It doesn't matter. When the team that wins the battle of the free passes is usually going to win, and we were on the wrong end of that.
What were some of the things, I guess, that you were seeing from the pitchers that were maybe lacking control?
Again, when we get into these games, I mean, I think it's, we have some guys that haven't thrown a lot. Ethan Frazier, he's coming back from surgery with a tendon that ripped off his arm that we didn't even think he'd be able to pitch again. And his stuff's not there. I mean, he's battling, but he's throwing low 80s instead of upper 80s and low 90s. And he's giving us everything he has, but it's just, it's tough. And, I thought Nolan Hackle threw the ball okay, and Max Schreiber did. But, some other guys just, just hasn't clicked in their career here. And, you find your depth, But, again, we brought all these guys here. We recruited them. We coached them. That's on us to have them succeed, and that's the bottom line. But I personally didn't really care for our effort early on, and that's, for me, that's the toughest thing to handle right now. And we were reactionary. We came out after they put the 4 spot up and started swinging the bats well, but offensively we were asleep, and like I said, I wasn't very happy with our attitude early on in the game. Looked a little too cold for our guys. Then they wanted it more, and give them credit for kicking our tails.
What steps did you see Nolan Hackle and Max Schreiber take tonight?
No, I mean, just Nolan has, he pitched a little. He's never pitched here. He pitched in junior college a little bit. I had an arm injury there, so really hadn't thrown much. But he's a hardworking kid and grinder, and he wants to help in any way he can. And he's a strike thrower, and Max, he's a young guy that's got high ceiling. We were probably thinking about him being more of a development guy, putting on some weight and not having to pitch as much this year. But I think he's quietly done all right. I thought he threw some good breaking balls in there, but it's just yeah.
What's the message out there to the guys afterwards?
I kind of want to keep that one to that was kind of one of our moments, so I'm going to keep that one out there.
On the plus side, on offense, having Schreiber in that 2-hole and Roskam in the 4 seemed to work out pretty well today for you guys.
Well, I mean, the goal of the game is to score more runs than the other team, and we didn't. So, Scott's been great all year. Luke's drove in some runs. I don't know if it really matters where they're hitting. They do stuff. The length of our lineup obviously has been an issue all year, and we got a few guys that are really scuffling. But it's it's one of those things where you'd like to have more guys on base with them, but we're not getting on base very often.
In your experience to games like this, can they kind of go one way or the other in terms of maybe putting a spark into the guys, kicking them, getting them into gear, or going the other way too?
Well, I think for me, they get down and they're not quitting. They're coming back and fighting, and they're going to do that. But it's that's just not a sustainable way of success to be reactive to what the other team's doing. And early on in games, I mean, it looks like we're scared, we're timid, we're walking guys, not competing in the zone, making defensive mistakes, and then once we get behind, everybody calms down. It's easy to play when you're behind, and that's one of the things we have to flip that. And again, that's my job to find a way to get to these guys, to get them to understand. It's obviously we're talking about it, but whatever I'm saying is not getting across to them the importance of that. So I'm just going to have to keep trying to find the right buttons to push, because I'm obviously pushing a bunch of wrong ones.
There were 3 runs scored off bases loaded walks today. If those don't happen, it's a different ball game.
Yeah, but that's the free pass game, and it's one of those things where it's one thing to walk the leadoff guy, which you don't want, but then some guys get out there with bases loaded, and then there's different levels of anxiety that you've never felt before in your life. It means something, and I think a lot of our guys are experiencing some of those feelings, and it's you can talk about them all you want, but until you get in there and you actually go through them, you can see what can happen. But yeah, it's we got outplayed, plain and simple. Yep.